All right, hello everybody. We're here at the International with MSS from Cloud9. How you doing?
Doing good.
In the group stage, you guys got off to a bit of a rough start. What's the team environment like when you're in that situation and you kind of finish the third day and day 4 is like do or die? What's the kind of discussion like in the team?
I mean, throughout like even our boot camp, it's been like kind of like up and down. You know, we've been trying to find like a play style we can make our own, because we've been struggling a lot and losing a lot, and like same as like before TI qualifiers, we're also losing a lot, but the competition wasn't as good in the qualifiers, so we still ended up winning it. But now like we played at TI, the competition is so much better, so like even when we like lose, like we come to these teams and we just get destroyed. So honestly, like these past 4 days were very helpful, because to be honest, our boot camp was not as successful as we could have made it. It was not as productive, and we learned a lot from these games. And like the last 2 days, like of course, like we're even joking around, like, guys, we have to win. we're like trying to like soften up the atmosphere, but I don't know, we weren't worried, honestly. Like if we got last place or got eliminated, like I don't know, there's very low chance of that happening in my opinion. But yeah.
And speaking of the boot camp, you guys must have played a few teams who did come to NA early and did their own boot camps here. Did you feel like your preparation was good enough going into the event, where you felt kind of confident and comfortable coming into it?
To be honest, not at all.
No.
No. I actually think this boot camp was pretty bad. Like we didn't learn much when we could have. Like we could have learned a lot, but we just did not make use of like the losses we've encountered. Yeah.
And before that, you came off some pretty good results in international tournaments. You guys went to Zotac and you guys did quite well. Ended up dropping that grand finals to Newbie, I believe. Do you think that those losses helped prepare you for coming into the qualifiers for TI, or did you feel still like things weren't working the way that you wanted?
It's weird, because like during like our first couple of tournaments, like Manila Masters and Zotac, we were playing really good. We were playing like a cohesive unit, but something happened after, like right before the summit, leading up into the TI qualifiers. We're just like, something happened. I don't know, but we just like slowly like declined, and it's still here a bit. But I think now we're getting better, like exponentially. Like if we can win our next game, I think we have a good shot, because we're learning every day. We finally like figured out something that we can use to get a lot better in a short amount of time.
And you have Stan as the coach for this event. Do you feel like having a coach to handle some of the responsibilities of preparing for the international and preparing for these matchups, do you feel like that is helpful and something that you'd like to continue, or do you feel like maybe there are aspects that you'd want to change or improve?
In my opinion, I think having a coach is always beneficial. I don't like. I'm not usually a part of like what Stan does with Envy, because they're usually like on their own, like researching the teams. I'm just playing Dota or whatever. So I really don't like contribute a lot to the preparation side of things. But in the end, it's like it's always nice having another perspective of the game.
And so, just to take it back for a little bit, I remember like early on in your career when you're like standing in for Liquid, standing in for Dignitas, like it was always clear, like the talent's there. Like I remember watching that first series when you like played on Rubik, and it was like, holy shit, this is nuts. Like but it seems like at times your teams haven't reached the full potential. What do you think that you've learned after all these years of kind of playing and going through these rosters?
I mean, in the end, I think it's like a team will do its best if everyone on the team believes in each other, and that they believe like that each individual in their team are the best players in their respective roles. I mean, just some anime stuff. You gotta believe in each other. It's all about the teamwork.
So, would you say like, even if like you don't have maybe 5 TI winners on your team, like, would you say that you would rate having a good team cohesion and good chemistry together higher than maybe just having like, yeah, we want 5 people who have all like won these huge tournaments?
It's kind of weird now because you have rosters like that now. Like before, the Team Secret one that was supposedly the all-star lineup. That one crashed and burned. But now you have teams like EG and OG. You have like these really good players, and they're doing well. I don't know. It's weird to say because I think it's dependent on like which like players are on these teams, like the captain.
And you've played in a lot of roles. I've seen you play support, mid at times on the old Cloud9, and then you've kind of settled into this off-lane role. Do you feel like this is your niche and this is where you want to play, or are you still kind of a little unsure about, how you want to fit into a team in the future, or are you kind of just like, I'm flexible, I'll do whatever the team wants me to do?
I personally like to say I'm flexible. Like I can do whatever. Like maybe not like carry or mid. Like before I used to like mid, but not anymore. Ever since the extra creep came in, I'm out. But yeah, like my love for offlane is the highest it's been, like in my career, and it's just natural. It's the most natural for me right now. So you're going to be playing on the main stage. It's going to be a best of 1. You're going to play against Empire.
Do you feel nervous going into that? Because, you go into TI, it's the atmosphere, the crowd is cheering, and it's like the pressure's on. You've got one game. Do you feel very nervous going into that, or do you feel kind of relaxed because of you kind of worked out the kinks already?
There's always going to be some anxiety in you. Maybe I'll be a little nervous, like, because for me it's my first time playing in the main stage at TI. Everybody else, they're used to it. Maybe like the first couple of minutes of the game, I'll be like, oh, holy crap, I'm playing at TI. But as the tournament progresses, I'll probably get less and less nervous. Like, I'll just get used to it.
And I'm sure one thing that a lot of fans are wondering is, it seems like all your games are like crazy. Like there's always some insane back and forth, and there's like mega creeps and like Eternal Envy's pushing out the like backdooring racks. Like, is it hectic in the communication at all when you guys are dealing with those kind of situations, or is the call usually pretty clear and you guys know what you're doing?
Kind of mix of both. For the most part, we try to be calm, like, because we try to figure out like what we need to do to win the game. But there are some situations where we're like team fighting and randomly like Envy just TPs out to like kill their racks, right? That's like on the spot. Sometimes it gets chaotic, but we kind of embrace the chaos. We're used to it.
Yeah.
That's the big part. So.
Well, thanks for taking the time to speak to us. Do you have any final shout-outs that you'd like to give?
Shout out to my team, Cloud9, our sponsors.
Thank you very much. This is Team Empire at the International. Please subscribe for more interviews.